Good morning, and thank you all for joining us today for our NEXUS Association of Realtors Go Global. We are really excited to bring this discussion. My name is Brenda Richmond. I am the 2023 president of NEXUS Association of Realtors, and I am really excited about this collaboration to bring global to NEXUS and to collaborate with our other associations and members. We have a great panel today to get us introduced to the global concept. And we're going to hear from some people to identify, what this is going to bring to us, what it's going to bring to our membership, and how to move forward. So today is the first of what I hope to be many discussions and collaborations regarding global. I am excited to introduce to you our event speaker today from our National Association of Realtors, the manager of Global Council Engagement and Development. That is Stephanie Anker. Stephanie?
Hi, Brenda. Thank you so much. I am beyond excited to be here. I first met Brenda and Lisa in DC this past May. I was about a week into my position and met them in the Global Council or the Global Courses for Associations course, and they were just so excited about getting their global program going. And so I'm really excited to be on this global journey with them, be a part of this, and really start to see things going. And the session that you put together today, the speakers that you've been able to get on here today, really excited to hear. There's a lot of knowledge, a lot of global experience and wisdom, and it's a rock star panel. So very happy that everyone was able to join us today, and very excited because New Jersey is just a really culturally diverse economy. And so lots of opportunities there, really looking forward to everyone really getting a better understanding of how global can help you grow your business. There's so many resources, there's so many opportunities. You don't have to be in a different country or even step foot in a different country or have connections internationally or globally. Part of our slogan here, with global here at NAR is global is local, and it really is something that is right in your backyard. There's opportunities to grow your business, expand your network, and not only help people in your market and your neighborhood, but then also as you have clients or colleagues or people who are moving globally and internationally, to be able to refer them through the different networks that we have available here at NAR. So again, excited to share some of the tools and have our panelists share that knowledge with you about how they've grown their business through global and their experience. So I will go ahead and introduce our amazing panel. We first have Helen Marston, who is the 2023 chair of the NAR CIPS Advisory Board. She's also the ambassador to China, Korea, and Taiwan, among much other experience. But Helen, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone about your experience?
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Helen Marston. I started my business, real estate business, in March 2009. And then, I fully believe that education, the knowledge is power. So I spend a lot of time invest in my education. And so I got my GRI, CIPS, CRS, SRES, SPFR, MRP, and then others together. And actually, I got my CIPS in 2011. My business naturally started with the global business related. And then so that's why I really in global business. And then after living in Southern California, 26 years, in business, 11 years, and I moved to Central Oregon 4 years ago. And then still in have the passion in global real estate. And I think we have a good panel today, and then you will open to a lot of experiences and then knowledge to global real estate. And then other than my business, and I have a good cook, and then only the chief chef for my family though. Thank you.
I love that. I absolutely love it. All right. Well, we also have Tony here with us from Hudson Gateway. He is the president of the Hudson Gateway Realtors Association, and he is also the co-chair of their Global Business Council. Oh, Tony, you're on mute.
Okay, great. I was not able to unmute myself.
Oh, no.
It's one way to keep me quiet. I started my career out in real estate about 25 years ago as a real estate attorney, and I represented landlords and developers. And then I went into, after about 10 years, I went into the business side of real estate, doing property management. So I do, most of my sales are with investors, real estate investors, but my business really is a property management business. And I have quite a few clients who are from abroad, from Asia, including India, Singapore, Australia, Europe. So my business started before I really became involved with the Realtor Association. And I just organically started getting clients who were from other countries. But I do want everyone to know that, you know, being that we're in New Jersey and the New York area, we do, you know, as was recently stated, we do live in an incredibly diverse community. And, you know, NAR refers to two types of clients, right? One is a non-resident foreigner. So somebody who's not a US citizen and who has a permanent residence outside the United States. Okay. So that could be a foreign client. That could be an international transaction if you're dealing with a foreign buyer, for example, who just has no other connection to the United States, but also a resident foreigner. So somebody who's not a US citizen, but who recently immigrated here. Maybe they hold a visa, maybe they've been here for more than 6 months for professional or educational reasons, and you're doing a transaction with that. And many of us have those relationships with people who live in our communities right now. So international transaction is not necessarily about, you know, selling a condo in Paris, but it could be with your neighbor right next door. So that's what makes international real estate transactions so accessible to so many of us in our own communities. So it is within your reach.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Tony. So well said. And then we also have Jody Langen here, who is the director of the NEXUS Association of Realtors and has quite a bit of global experience as well. Oh, Jody, are you able to unmute?
Okay, sorry. I thought I'd be the last one because I'm the youngest for the experience. But yeah, my name is Jody Langen. I am CIPS, also at home with diversity, short sale for closed resource and ePro. In 1995, I started my career in real estate in the Philippines, and then 1997 we started our brokerage company, and then 2007 I migrated in the US and I got my license in here, and 2017 I got my CIPS. With the CIPS designation, it helps me to open up the whole world in one, you know, especially after I got my PIN in Boston. So many realtors all over the world, they're all there and they're willing to collaborate with us. And for me, as a license, I have an active license in the Philippines. I'm always looking for an international opportunity in which I can practice both, like as a realtor here, local in the US, in New Jersey, and also I can do the Philippine, which is still, there's so many opportunity in there. So with the pandemic, it also opened up that we did start the virtual project presentation. We started virtual open house. We started virtual roadshow, virtual closing. So now that we are in the virtual thing, so you don't need to go to Ireland with all those other CIPS family that I met in Boston the first time that I attended the convention. I established a friendship, good relationship with realtor in Ireland, in Nicaragua. And I remember the very first realtor CIPS that I met, they're from Serbia. They're so excited to meet you. So they're ready to, to collaborate with you. So this is the way to go. We need to, and of course, with as a board of director of NEXUS and Asian Real Estate of America, area. I just want to share the opportunity because there's so many opportunities, especially for the younger generation of realtor that not only to be local, but so many opportunity in the global. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Yodi. And last but not least, we have Yoshi Takita, who is our current ambassador to Cambodia, Indonesia, and Vietnam, and is also our 2024 presidential global liaison for NAR. So Yoshi, I'll let you talk about all of the wonderful accomplishments you have, because I don't think this call is long enough for us to go into all of them.
I'm very simple. So I'm in business for about 20 years, and like Helen, I believe in education. So about 10 years ago, I was introduced to take a CIPS education course. It's a NAR only international education course offered by NAR. And yeah, I got CIPS in 2011, and I have learned about NAR Global program. And once I learned this program, my business model has totally changed. I started flying to Japan and start doing a presentation with our cooperating association in Japan. And people start inviting me to speak in their country, in different countries. So I flew over to different countries, and then sometimes I attend those events as a speaker or attendees. And right now, everybody knows me in Southeast Asia. So that's how powerful is the NAR education and global program.
Well, we definitely appreciate all that you do, and I mean, all of you are just tremendous advocates for global, and really just all around ambassadors for the program. So very happy and honored to work with all of you. So ahead of the call, we actually sent out some questions, and some of the questions that we got that people were wanting to know about global. So the first one that we got is, how has global benefited your association or business, and how did you get started? So Tony, I think we'll toss it to you to start off on that one, because it seems like you have a pretty diverse experience there.
Sure. So we started our Global Business Council probably about 5 years ago, something like that, 5-6 years ago. And one of the things that we inherited as a Hudson Gateway Association of Realtors when we merged with the Manhattan Association, which was the association I originally come from, was the Global Real Estate Summit. That was something that the Manhattan Association of Realtors had worked on with the Staten Island Board of Realtors. And when we merged with Hudson Gateway, one of the things that I sort of fought for and asked for was that we be able to continue with that collaboration. And I think that one particular collaboration probably embodies for me the most important aspect of what we do with Global, because that collaboration has now gone from 2 associations to about 10 different associations within our area, including associations at the local and state levels in New Jersey and in Connecticut, for example, the Canadian Real Estate Association. We've been working with associations who are looking to come on from Virginia, from Maryland, from Rhode Island, from Massachusetts. So every year we're growing this collaboration, and I think one of that collaboration has had 2 positive results. Number one, it's grown our network for our members. So the people who are involved with Global, for example, I think they're experiencing an increase in referral business. I've actually gotten referrals from people that I've met out of state who obviously don't have a license in New York, and I've referred business outward. So there you have that. When you expand your network outside of the one small region that you might work in, that increases your referral network. So it's not just a referral network that might be in Europe or Asia or South America. It's even your referral network right here in the United States. So that's one thing. So that's how it helps me, and it's helped, I think, a lot of our other members. More importantly, on an association level, that collaboration leads to other things. I'll give you an example. A couple of years ago, probably 3 years ago, at one of our global real estate summits in Manhattan, we were having conversations. Our former CEO was having a conversation with the then president of North Central Jersey Association of Realtors during one of our breaks at our real estate summit. And the conversation was about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the question was, you know what, this is a great event. Look at us collaborating on this. Look at how many people are here. Why don't we do something like this for DEI? And wouldn't you know, the next year we had a DEI summit. And this year we had the second annual DEI summit. And we've had participation from Maryland. We've had participation from other associations in other states, upstate New York. So this particular collaboration that was specifically for global and that has really blossomed over the last number of years, 7 or 8 years. We're now in our 17th year, actually, of the Global Real Estate Summit. It actually led to something else, another collaboration. And we're now attending each other's events. So lots of ways that we can benefit our members and our associations that we don't even think about.
Yeah, I love that. And I love how you touched on the fact that, global is just, I mean, it's really inclusive. It's really diverse. It goes beyond just doing real estate and having that network. One thing you touched on that I want you to just kind of maybe elaborate on just really quickly is you mentioned referrals, and you talked about sending referrals, and receiving referrals. Where do you usually find that network? How do you decide if you have a client to refer out, or if you're working with someone, where do you find that these are coming from, and where are you sending these to?
So interestingly, we're touching on CIPS. Obviously, if you have your CIPS designation, that's a tremendous asset because that puts you in a CIPS network. And Yoshi will probably talk about that a little bit. So being a part of that network, I think, is really important because, we meet regularly. The CIPS network for me is like a family. Whenever we go to our state meetings, whenever we go to our national meetings, whenever we travel abroad, that CIPS network is there. People recognize it, they're a part of it, and we're always asking each other for opportunities to refer clients to. So it's part of who we are as a network. So that's the first thing. The other thing is just being a part of the broader network, the broader global network. And I'll give an example of the event that we just had in, I guess it was June or July in Spain, where NAR had the one-day Western Europe Global event. That was a tremendous event that saw people from all around the world attend. And there are opportunities that grow out of that because you're always meeting new people in the global network, even if they're not CIPS. And I'll get a referral from that network as well. So it doesn't have to be from the CIPS network, but it's a matter of getting involved in the network. Just getting your CIPS, if you don't do anything with it, you won't grow with it. But if you're part of the network, like Yoshi said, you go, you speak somewhere, you meet people, you have to engage. And that's really what you have to do, regardless of what your role is at any association, whether it's global, whether it's anything. You just always have to engage with your members and with other people so that you can make a difference. And CIPS gives you that opportunity.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, Yoshi, as Tony said, you'll definitely be able to elaborate on that. I mean, what has your experience been with that? And then how have you been able to use global to grow your business, both domestically and internationally?
as Tony said, networking and building a relationship with the other members, that's the, I think, main keys. And we've been hosting CIPS networking events every month in our regions, the Jersey and New York and the Connecticut part of, and then keep continue this for Tony about like 6-7 years already.
Mhm.
Yep.
Very successful.
Yep,
Huge
very
group of
successful.
people. Great.
Yep. And
Helen, oh, go ahead.
yep, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, Helen, what has been, your experience, and what have you found the best way and the most beneficial thing from Global on how to grow your business and expand your network? Oh, you're muted.
Okay. All right. I actually started my business in the melt pot of Los Angeles. So it's very natural for me to get into the real estate business global. And at that time, 60%, over 60%, sometimes even 75% of my business actually global related. So it doesn't mean I have a business, the transaction with someone in overseas. Actually, they were in the local, and then for any of the visas they hold at the time, and then as long as they are not a permanent residents or the citizen, they those transactions actually are global real estate transactions. And then to my association, 70% agents actually they were born in overseas, and so they also naturally have a connections overseas and in the local, because we have just people all over the world in the LA areas. And then so our association introduced the CIPS courses to our association in 2011. So I was the first class 2011 of CIPS over there. And with that concept and association, signed a lot of MOUs with all different kind of associations overseas. And then I remember just in 2018, when I was the local president, we have a delegate. We went to Hanoi for the Global Real Estate Summit over there. And then after that, we went to China, we went to Shanghai, Beijing, and we went to Taipei, Taiwan, and then we signed 5 MOUs in our trip. And then at the end of the year at NAR, we sent the 6th MOUs with Hong Kong. So with those MOUs that you have the special relationships with those partners in overseas, and the association usually invited those agents for those associations to speak to the local association members about the current market in different part of the world. So for the knowledge, and then so the members can benefit those informations. And with the special MOUs partners, if our associate members go to all those associations, you have the connection right there already. And then of course that also establish the referral basis. And so that's what we have been done. And then so over there, the global is dominated, is a big thing for the association. So the association actually had an award year after year until have 5 consecutive of the platinum, and in 2019 got the diamond. That's a top award for global business at NAR. And then since then, 2019, all the way to now, they still maintain that status. So my job now, since I left there and I moved to Central Oregon, and then it's not important area. So the central part, the global kind of like, is not strong as what I had with the other associations. So I'm trying to bring the GPC over there, the Global Business Council, and then also raise awareness to the local members that, they might not thinking about global, and they think they are far away from global. And then, I fully believe it's not surprised to find actually some members, they probably already engaged without conscious that their business actually is a global real estate business transactions. And then I feel that is very interesting. The status probably for a lot of associations and who haven't have the GBC in their association. And then I really hope that, the leadership of the association realize that the importance of the global real estate, and then to grow their global business council to benefit their members.
Absolutely. No, well said. And like you said, it's something where it's there, and you may be involved in global and you don't even know it. That's just how prevalent it is, and how widespread global is. So thank you. Yodi, to you, I know you're very involved with ARIA and some of the other groups. Could you tell us a little more about how being involved with those groups has helped grow your business and grown your global exposure in your network?
Okay. Yeah. So as soon as I started my business with the global, I also affiliated with international group like AREA. There is also, like, of course, actually we should be very thankful with NAR Global, because they already prepared, and all our volunteers, they already prepared for us all the resources, and we already are paying our dues, and we just need to maximize our business of all those established MOA, like bilateral agreement in different countries. So it's already there. So just think about, you are in a big basketball court, and you have a client in here in the US who is from Morocco, and he got a property in Morocco and he wants to sell it. So you establish the relationship with your client in here, and you throw the ball to the CIPS in whatever countries that there's a need for a referral. And the same thing also with, like, referral in other countries, that they need an agent here to assist their clients. So with CIPS designation, we have, I think, all over the world, we're already like 4,500. So you already have a network of partners. You just need to establish a relationship whenever you attend the convention, because they're all there. So you will need to, that's why we're looking forward for the NAR convention. And I'm so thankful that I met Yoshi when I was new, because he is the key who guided me, said, just attend all global meetings. He gave me the list, and this is the things that you need to attend. So in which all the global minded people, they're all there. So just to give you some idea of how it changes my mindset when I'm doing my local practice. Imagine in the company that I am with, they have the protected farm. I cannot do business in my own now where I live, because they have their farm. That's their farm. They're ahead of me. I cannot do like activities because that is their farm. So the company protected that agent. So I cannot do business within my development. So guess what? When I got my CIPS, the world is my farm. You know what I mean? So it changes. Like you don't have a boundary now. So I'm so thankful to the CIPS that I have found, and that is really one of the key for our association. It is already ready there. We just need to share the information, and we need to establish the global business alliance. That's why we're also encouraging you to be more involved, because we have already, like, especially I like the group in New York. They're all very active. They have a global summit, and that's why I crossed New York in New Jersey. I said, why is it that I need to attend the national to to meet all this global. So we really need to like start here because you're already doing international without your knowing transaction. So just step by step, there are some coaching with the CIPS that they're also available as soon as you get your CIPS designation, and just mingled, and all the CIPS, they're very supportive, and even the not only the overseas but local, especially like the officers for the CIPS and the Global Alliance, they're all very supportive. And of course, the NAR Global. Thank you.
Yeah. And Yodi, you brought up an excellent point. I mean, the amount of partnerships that we have, I mean, through NAR Global, we have over 106 or, over 100 bilateral partners in 77 countries right now. And so, and of course, we couldn't have those relationships and, make that possible without, our global ambassadors and our global coordinators and our global business councils who serve as ambassador organizations. So again, it's just global is so valuable and so vital to opening up those networks. All of you have mentioned a lot of the really great tools that you found. Maybe we could just go around and everyone could maybe share, a tool or resource that they've found that either their local association or NAR provides to them to help them grow in their business. I mean, of course, besides we've touched on CIPS, but outside of the CIPS, what are some of the other tools that you would recommend to associations and realtors looking to expand their global networks? Tony, when you want to start?
Sure. So I would say one of the most wonderful tools, not to mention just the resource of NAR itself, your office, for example, Stephanie, Alejandro, working with your team in and of itself is an incredible tool, an incredible resource that really helped us and guided us when we were first starting out as a global business council. One of the things that I see as a tool, Yodi and Helen, had mentioned the MOUs, the memorandums of understanding that we sign with other bilateral partners. Those are incredibly important because, the goal of the MOU is to develop a relationship, to build a relationship. So it's wonderful to sign an MOU, but now it's going to be on your association to make something of it. You have to build on that because it's more than just a piece of paper. You're establishing a new
relationship.
And it's up to you as to how that relationship is going to grow. So our emphasis as a relatively newer global business council has been to sign MOUs, but to build on them, to make them strong, go deep with them. We have a global ambassador relationship with Portugal, for example. We signed an MOU with them, obviously. We've been working very, very, very hard with them over the years to really deepen our relationship through webinars, through an exchange of articles. They'll write an article for our newspaper. We'll write an article for their periodical. We've tried many, many ways to engage with each other. One of the things that we did last year was to set up a trade mission. That's an incredible tool. The trade mission, our feeling was that we wanted to make our trade mission more of an educational and learning event, not so much about touring another country and seeing the sights, but really about learning about the real estate transaction. What does it take to do a real estate transaction in that country? What are the laws? What are the tax consequences? We wanted to surround ourselves with people who could teach us about this. And our trade mission was about meeting with local government officials. We met with the city council in Porto. We met with the mayor of Porto. We really engaged with them at a very deep level. And one of the things that came out of that trade mission was, in terms of the networking that we had with their local real estate professionals. And actually, there's somebody on this Zoom call right now who was with us on that trade mission, Karen Ransom. We started a WhatsApp sort of a group chat, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I'll get these little dings every night at like 3 o'clock in the morning, ding, ding. And I was like, okay, that's our Portugal trade group. And it's been going on for over a year. We've had people who attended our trade mission who have developed a relationship with some of the local agents that we met there, and they've actually referred business to each other. Yodi, I think you mentioned changing your business model. We had somebody on our trade mission who was focused on commercial real estate. After going on that trade mission, he never really participated in anything that we did as an association. He was never involved in anything else. He just wanted to go on this trade mission because of his interest and his heritage with Portugal. And he changed his whole business model because of that. And we've had several people who have been referring business back and forth because of that trade mission.
Yeah, I love those middle of the night dings. You can tell you work in global when you're getting those middle of the night referrals. Like I used to, my beginning in real estate, I was working in more in global mobility and corporate relocation and referrals. And so it would be 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, your phone's going off with, you know, a broker in Australia or, you know, wherever, but you know, I love it. I absolutely love it. Those dings remind you that you have this amazing global network.
They're great. And they'll be here. They'll be here in October. We have a trade mission, Portugal trade mission coming to New York the same week as our global real estate summit. So they're actually going to participate in the summit, and they'll get to meet all of our CIPS family in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
That's amazing. So Yodi, what is your, I mean, if you could give an advice on, you know, a bit of advice outside of the CIPS, you know, a tool or, you know, something that either your local association or NAR has provided to you that helped you grow your business?
The coaching that the CIPS is also offering every month, and then they also just like this one, they have a guest experts who gave their experience and also the result of what their trade mission or closing that they, you know, like establish a partnership relationship. So and also like to start with, you can also visit the embassies in your you know, near you. The other thing also that is good is to, just like Tony mentioned, trade mission. Don't let the CIPS also work for you. You need to do work also. If you don't have any activities happening, so do make a work. Make a activity like networking events or a roadshow, or you know, like a trade mission. Actually, we did a small trade mission to the Philippines, and those who already invested without seeing the property, that and we brought them to see it now because they don't know the place. Let's say I never been to Italy, so when they saw the project, they said, one said that this is better than Hong Kong. So the development in there. So I never been to Hong Kong. So you know what? We need also to, you know, like participate in the trade mission, because you also need to see, but it doesn't need to, because now we can also do the virtual. I think the Long Island Board of Realtor, they were doing a virtual tour to different countries. So we can also attend. I think to start with, just attend some of the global networking or seminar, so for you to be more you know, like comfortable. But actually, yeah, the CIPS is really the first part that you need to really get the designation.
Yeah. And I mean, those trade missions are so valuable. And, you know, I mean, because if you look at it, I mean, real estate is really a universal language, and that's, you know, kind of what brings everyone together, and, you know, bringing people and, you know, sharing practices and, you know, really just educating not only, you know, people in, you know, your association, but then also worldwide. I mean, it's amazing. And, you know, being able to grow your business that way. Helen, what have you found is probably outside of the CIPS and everything else, what has been your most valuable tool that you found? Oh, are you?
All right, I promise I won't unmute my again. Well, first of all, I, you know, as a 2023 CIPS chair, let me just brag a little bit about CIPS the more.
Of course.
Because we do have a lot of benefits of being a designee of CIPS. So once you join that, you have a whole big platform for you to promote you as a global realtor. And then you have the CIPS roster just for that. Because now we have over 4,000 designees all over the world, not only in US, they have a few hundreds in different countries in the whole world. So if you, by any chance, you have a client needs to know which country outside US, or you have clients that own properties in overseas, you can go to that roster to find the CIPS designees in that country. And if even there's no the global CIPS over there, you can find other channels and then to find someone to help you. And the CIPS referral form help you to secure your referral commissions. And,
right. And not just anyone has access to that. I mean, that's something that you have to be a CIPS designee to have access to.
Right. I recently have a realtor in Florida. Her clients own properties in China, in a certain place. And then so she called me and said, oh, how can I find someone to help me? And then also I asked her right away, I said, are you CIPS? I said, oh, I'm not. I said, well, if you are CIPS, you will find your referral form in CIPS that can, secure partially, your business in other countries. And then of course, in the global marketplace, you can have all the logos and marketing materials to promote you. So, okay, if possible, join CIPS. Yeah. And outside CIPS, I think, there are so many ways to connect you. Some way may be a little bit expensive. For example, you need to go over other country to attend their expo. That is a huge exposure to your business. And I knew there are a lot of realtors doing that. And you can actually form a team, have a booth over there in the overseas is expensive, but you can share with a few of you that all have that same goal and then want to connect to the global. That's one way to do. You can share the costs. And then there are so many other inexpensive way. For example, NAR, the annual meetings, and we always have just thousands of the international realtor members come to the meeting, and then we have a certain time expo to have those delegates there. You can meet, and then you can have the connections with them, and you never know. We always say you never know where your next transaction come from. And maybe not, immediately, but definitely there you can benefit one day. And in your local area, you can join your chamber of commerce, and then you connect to all the business owners. Pay attention to the new business owners that they come to town. Maybe they originally from other country. And then so that's a really good connection to help you to reach out to, be global. And a lot of like a CPA, attorneys, they dealing with taxes, law issues with the new immigrants. And that is really a good resources to connect. And then also, I know there are now very popular that, there are a lot of kids from overseas join the college, and then a lot of exchange students programs. So it's good to connect with those people, agency dealing with this. So there's a lot of ways, but you have to have that concept. And then the CIPS definitely help you to have that mindset.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the annual convention, because that is one thing that, we do have, hundreds of international attendees. We have our partners, our international realtor members coming in. There's different sessions. So I did put the link for the NXT event in the chat there. So I highly recommend everyone look. You can sort by global, but there are different events. We have an international night out, which is an amazing, just celebration with all of our global friends. And then we also have in the pavilion and in the expo area, just different networking sessions. So you can look, there's a schedule up that will show you which countries, who you can network with. So lots and lots of great stuff there. Wanted to see, I know we're coming up on time here. Were there any questions that anyone has? I hadn't seen anything in the chat here unless I had missed something. So if anybody has any questions, if you could just drop them in the chat there. And then really quick, Yoshi, I just want to ask you, what have you found? Why would somebody, as far as, using that CIPS exclusive network, why do you want to make sure that when you're referring someone that you are using a CIPS designee?
Well, good question. Well, you wanna, play with the same, the sandbox, right? Same field. You understand where you're coming from. That's very important. And I want to add a few things. Like, we are all NAR members, and NAR has been investing so much money into this global program for many decades, probably 30, 40 years. And you are already paying a due to maintain this program. Right? If you don't use it, you lose it. If you're missing opportunity, you could have make like extra deals if you know this program exists, right? And if your association don't offer, if your association don't offer to your members, it's disservice to membership. It's a membership benefits that we all entitled to receive, right? And happen to be my association is assigned for ambassador association to Spain by NAR. So we go to trade mission to Spain every year for building a relationship, maintain a relationship between the United States, real estate, and Spain. And like Stephanie say, we have a partnership agreement with over 80 countries, close to nearly 80 countries, over 100 associations right now, 106 associations. And we have over 6,000 realtor members outside of the United States. And they are paying the same due as we do, like NAR dues every year. And they follow their same code of ethics like we do. So we are like basically our colleagues. So, it's easier. It makes sense to do business with our colleagues outside of the United States. And that make it so simple because of NAR global program. So we should all take advantage of this. This is my point.
No, that's, excellent point. So I do just want to, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa and Brenda to kind of talk about things and close us out here. But again, wanted to thank everyone for joining us. Definitely amazing group here. I'm so happy to be a part of this, and encourage everyone to, if your local association does not have a global business council, or if you're interested in more information, I did put some resources for everyone into the chat, some different links. There is a wonderful resource for New Jersey specifically, and it's actually the region too. So New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, about different information, and then the international report. So there's such a wealth of knowledge. I highly encourage everyone to, like Yoshi said, if you don't use it, you lose it. And, as a member, you have all of these amazing benefits. I'm going to drop my information in the chat here really quick. Just if anybody has any questions or thoughts or would like more information, feel free to reach out at any time. But I will turn it over now to our amazing hosts here, Brenda and Lisa.
Thank you, everyone. So we do have one question in the box. We want to know about attorney resources. It looks like we do have an agent that may be, so Tony may be able to answer this question for us then. Do you have resources for attorneys that handles transactions for clients that currently reside in Hong Kong and placing offers in homes in New Jersey?
Actually, I might pass that on to Yoshi. Because
Helen.
Okay.
Or Helen. Yes, Helen.
Ambassador.
Mhm.
Helen, are you freeze?
Nope. So if someone can just speak about, I guess, the attorney process. How does that work? If you have a transaction in Hong Kong or a different area, how does an agent secure that deal to make sure that, like in New Jersey, some of us use attorneys. How does that work?
Well, we do have relationships with attorneys and accountants who do specialize in dealing with purchasers and sellers who may not be from the United States. So my recommendation is always to use an expert who's been involved with an international transaction. I want to say, for example, we did a report, our international residential transactions report, back in 2021-22 for our association, and we found that 11% of our members who responded had U.S. clients who were searching for properties abroad, for example. So there's a lot of interest. There is a resource for that. We have accountants and attorneys who have a lot of experience in dealing with these people, because there are a lot of transactions that happen with international buyers and sellers. So they're out there. I would always recommend that they reach out to the Global Business Council of their local association, because every state is going to be different. Every country is going to be different. So reach out to your local Global Business Council or your local association for information that pertains to your state.
Okay, thank you, Tony. So I just want to thank everyone for coming on today. Our speakers, thank you so much. I know I was a pest in getting this done, but I really do appreciate it. Yodi, and like Yodi, we have the resources. NAR has set everything up for us. I remember when Yodi took me around when we went to DC the middle of the year, and the room was just packed. And I said, we got to be a part of this. There's no way that there's this many people in this room and Global is so successful that our association does not have it. So let's not let this call end here. I know it may sound confusing, because when I first went, I was like, all right, this is all sounding confusing, but we're going to take baby steps and just try and get it done one step at a time. Stephanie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All the speakers, we appreciate it. Thank you. So Brenda, I know Brenda's on board. We're ready to go. So we just need our agents behind us to help us make this go.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This was a wealth of information, and I can't wait to have another meeting.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day. Thank you.